Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Elizabeth, and today's video is going to be a how to pass your driver's test and kind of just things I wish I knew based on my experience. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram already, which you guys totally should, I'll link it right here. I actually posted that I got my license and I was just really excited and happy about it. I still am, obviously. And mind you, when I took the test, that was actually not my first time taking the test, so I definitely have some experience and some tips and advice for you guys so that you can stay prepared, relaxed, and focused for your driver's test. Understand that driving is a responsibility, and I've learned so much from my previous tests up until the test where I actually passed the driver's test about do's and don'ts about driving on the road in general. Although I'm not claiming to work at the DMV or anything like that, I just wanted to make today's video to offer advice to you guys. So don't mind if I'm looking down because I actually have the notes on my phone for what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So my first tip is to always keep safety at the forefront of your mind whenever you're driving. This tip is honestly really helpful, I feel like, for every single driver out there, because let's say that you're not really sure what other drivers are doing, or you're not really sure if a maneuver you're about to do is safe, or there's a pedestrian randomly crossing in the street, which obviously you should yield to pedestrians always. Just ask yourself, is this safe? And I feel like that almost immediately every time answers my question, so I feel like that would be really helpful for you guys and also for just every driver out there. Another thing that I find super helpful to do is be a defensive driver, and basically what this means is anticipate what other pedestrians or drivers will do on the road that you think would probably harm you. If the situation were to actually happen, then you would be prepared and know what to do. If you keep this tip at the forefront of your mind, which also means obeying all traffic signals and keeping you and other drivers safe, as well as like pedestrians in the road, I can almost guarantee you'll pass, because that is basically what the examiner is looking for. They're basically just assessing how smooth you drive, how well you drive, and what you do in certain situations to keep you and other drivers safe. And follow the rules of the road as well as the directions that they will be telling you. So my next tip for the purposes of the road test is to always be scanning. And what I mean by this is physically show that you're moving your head up to look at the rear view mirror and you're looking at both side view mirrors. And I would say do this every 10 seconds. For me, what really helped was just looking in a triangle, literally moving my head up and then to the side, to the side.
Look up, down to the side.
But if that one TikTok helps you to remember to do that, then think of it. Also, whenever you're moving your vehicle laterally, I think it's laterally, always make sure that you look over your shoulder and over exaggerate this movement. Make sure you do this whenever you change lanes, and also this is very important whenever you're trying to enter a biking lane, which is legal if it is dotted or if it's green. When taking a right turn, see if there are any cyclists, because not looking over your shoulder for anything is just an automatic fail. Also, whenever you go through intersections, make sure you literally always look left and right, because they are looking for that, and if you do not do that, they will keep docking points. So my third tip is to always yield to pedestrians. It doesn't matter if they're jaywalking or if they're on the crosswalk when the light is green. It's so important that you actually yield to pedestrians, because they do have the right of way. And that even goes for if they're halfway across the crosswalk and they're not even remotely near you. Just wait for them to reach the other end of the crosswalk so that they're safely on the sidewalk, and then you could proceed to enter the crosswalk and go take a right turn, proceed straight, left, wherever you need to do. Even if you're literally just pulling out from the parking lot about to start your test, or you're coming back from your test, if you do not yield to pedestrians, they will fail you. So make sure that you do this. So my fourth tip is something that's really overlooked, but it's to use your turn signals. Use your turn signals no matter what. Even if you think that you're using them too much, I mean, at least you're not using them too little, because those are automatic points docked. It's definitely not something that you want to lose easy points over. So my next tip is to keep a consistent speed when you're taking your road test. This means that you don't want to go any higher than 5 miles above the speed limit or 5 miles below the speed limit. And for me, I did get docked because I was going 30 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone. So my seventh tip has to do with intersections. So as we mentioned earlier, always make sure that you scan the intersection so that you do not lose easy points over that. But most importantly, do not change lanes in an intersection. This is also a critical error, so you could fail for this. And also, if the light is green and you notice that on the other side of the intersection it's basically packed with cars, and if you were to go, you would probably block the intersection, just wait behind the limit line where you stop. And yeah, my desktop keeps turning off. So my eighth tip is to make sure that you actually do a full stop at stop signs. And in the California driver's handbook, this means a full 3 seconds, and then you could proceed. But also in that 3 seconds, make sure that you look left and right and you make sure that it's clear, there's no pedestrians trying to cross, or if there are cars, for example, if it's a 4-way stop, make sure that you do follow the right of way rules. Something that I feel like fortunately on my test, there were possibilities of them, but no one was occupying them. It was mainly just me, because I did take my test in mid-morning, midweek. So yeah, I definitely recommend scheduling your driver's test to be near the morning before lunchtime, because lunchtime definitely most likely has a lot of traffic. So my ninth tip is when pulling up to the curb, make sure that you can actually see the curb in the mirror so that you don't accidentally accidentally hit the curb or are too far away from the curb, because the first time when I took the test and I did not pass, it was actually because I was not close enough to the curb. So when I was pulling up, reversing backwards straight as they asked me to, I pulled off way off of the curb because I couldn't see the curb in the mirror. So I feel like that was something super simple that I shouldn't have failed the first test on. So I would definitely recommend that you guys practice pulling up to the curb in the vehicle that you're going to take the test in, to make sure it's basically like muscle memory and you have it down and you know that that is something that will be really easy for you. So when they ask you to reverse the car and back up straight, make sure that the wheel is completely straight. And for me, I put my hand at the 12 o'clock time place. Also, right before you're backing up, make sure you do a 360 view of where you're at to show that you're a safe driver and just to make sure that there is nothing in the way. And then as you're reversing, make sure you look through the rear back window and also the side mirror, because they are looking to see if you're constantly switching between the two so you know where you are. And since I really did not want what happened to me on the first test to happen again, I really made sure to keep practicing all of these steps that I just told you at my house at a curb. It was not difficult at all because I practiced it so many times, so I definitely recommend that you guys do that if there's a skill that you're not really sure about. So my last tip, know all the controls in your car. Before you even start the driver test, they will check your car and make sure everything is good, inspect it, and make sure you know your hand signals as well as different controls in your car, like your windshield wipers, your headlights, emergency brake, just stuff like that. So I would definitely urge you guys to watch a few YouTube videos on pre-driver checklists to make sure that your car is working well and you know where everything is. The day that I passed my driver's test, 2 cars ahead of me, there was this car and their brake lights were not working, so they did not even get the opportunity to try to take the driver test that day. So that is why I definitely recommend that you guys double check your car and make sure everything is in check so that everything goes well and you don't have to worry about the little tiny things in the beginning. So now for the extra notes I have, the first one is to make sure that you know what your driver test consists of in your specific state. In California, you do not have to drive in the highway or do parallel parking. So that was something I definitely kept in mind. And another thing that I definitely recommend doing, which is actually what you're doing right now, is studying for the driver's test. And this can be by reviewing the actual handbook again to make sure you know everything, watching driver test videos, and also because of the virus, some things were changed about the driver's test. Like my examiner did wear a face mask and they did put plastic covering on the seats, and I heard that the routes were shortened. A few mini tips I have are prepare all the things that you're gonna need the night before, and you can look on your state's DMV website to see what this might be. It's weird, but you can also plan what you're gonna wear beforehand to the driver's test. If this helps, I wore jeans and a black turtleneck. I don't know if it does, but lastly, I would say relax and take a deep breath. Just know that you are not alone, and almost every adult you know probably had to take the driver's test, whether you pass or not, which I know that you guys will pass. I'm confident in you guys and we're speaking it into existence. It's ultimately God's will because you and him are the only ones who know if you are truly prepared to have a license. Just know that I'm confident in you and I know you can do it. You got this. Another thing is realizing that the examiner is just like you. I know it sounds weird, but they're literally another person just like you, and you shouldn't be scared about having someone in your car. It's only to see if you're a safe and defensive driver and you know how to follow the rules of the road. And something that will also keep you relaxed is knowing that once you get onto the road, honestly, you'll just be focused on driving and you won't really be nervous anymore, at least in my personal experience. Just keep that in mind, trust your abilities, and just know that God has a plan for you. Okay guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below your test date for good luck. I'm praying for everyone who has their driver's test coming up soon. I love you guys and make sure you subscribe to join the family. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.